Hi everyone, I'm going to share with you today a full day wear test, multiple methods of application, close-ups, details, all the things on the new, well, reformulated, but still new, Hourglass Illusion Luminous Glow Foundation with an SPF of 30. Yes, and then I also want to share my thoughts on previous Hourglass foundations because how do they compare, what's this, what's that, we'll talk about it all the details, all the things. Shall we? Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 8:08 a.m.
We're starting off nice and early because we're going to do this all day. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning and all I have so far is skincare, which is also my primer, and eyebrows. Now, I'll have everything we used today listed and linked down below in the description box. I'll also have shade references and my Sephora match code. Everything will be down below in the description box. Let's get into details about this newly reformulated product from Hourglass. This all-in-one formula combines the benefits of a broad-spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen, advanced skincare, and high-performance foundation for an unbelievably luminous glow that lasts all day. It's an ultra creamy texture that melts into skin to visibly smooth and to diminish the appearance of imperfections for a luminous, even-toned complexion. Infused with advanced Hydra smoothing technology, this intensely moisturizing formula is clinically proven to visibly reduce fine lines and wrinkles, while the SPF 30 helps protect the skin from sun damage and early signs of aging. Sounds good. So I have this in the shade 19. For reference, I have the shade 11 in the Skin Veil, not Skin Veil, Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. Love this. This is pretty much empty. I have like a little bit left. We have enough to compare, so don't worry about that. And then another great foundation from them is the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I find that Hourglass base products are very, very beautiful. So I was very curious about this. I had not tried the previous one that they're saying is, this is reformulated. Because when you first go on the Hourglass website, right, the first thing you see is new Luminous Glow Foundation. One of our best-selling icons is back and better than ever. So I just have to assume it's a reformulation, or something that got discontinued and they brought back. I don't know. If you know, tell me, because I have no experience with the previous one. Continuing on. So shade 19 is described as tan with warm undertones. First impression of packaging, this is extremely reminiscent of the Hydrating Veil Skin Tint. Very much the same. Just this is full-on gold packaging. So it comes sealed. Let's remove that. So you squeeze. Okay. Here's how we're looking. It's not thick, it's not thin, it feels like a cream, but it blends very, very nicely, and you can see that glow. Beautiful. Okay. I'm not getting a fragrance, so that's always a plus. And it does blend into the skin very nicely. Very nicely. As it claimed to do. Claimed to melt into the skin, and I think it did that nicely. Let's get it on the face so we can talk about coverage and all those things. All right, so here we are. I have just a little bit of fine lines on the forehead, my smile lines, my marionette lines. That's usually where product, well, you know, after a few hours, but we'll see. I'm going into this expecting this product to hydrate, leave me feeling comfortable, giving me that natural, nice, dewy glow. And I just want to feel evened out because I do have, you know, darkness, my little freckles, you know, we want to put that stuff away. I just want to feel polished and nice. I don't want anything too over the top. So whenever I share foundation reviews, I do multiple methods of application. I'll do one section with brush, one section with sponge, and one section with my fingers. We all like to apply our products in different ways, so I try to touch as many bases and as many details as possible. Now I will say that when I was reading the, where is it? The how-to section, how to use, they do say to apply a pea-sized amount of foundation to the center of your face and blend outwards using a brush. gently buff it into the skin, and they recommend using their brush, but use whatever brush you want. And then you can build it until your desired level of coverage is received, or achieved, sorry. So pretty much it's buildable, so we'll see about that. Now, I'm gonna go in on my, I just put a little on my palette. I'm gonna take my spatula and apply. And let's start off with a brush since that's what they recommended first. This is the Dior number 18 brush. I'm going to blend this and then we'll try to build it and see. I will say it's gliding on the skin nicely. Doesn't feel heavy, very smooth. Right now, as a first application, I like this glow that I have on the skin. Not too much coverage. Let's build. So no product. All right. So this is what I have left off of that little first squeeze that I put. Just literally going to scrape every last drop. And let's build. I'm just going to focus where I would like a little more. Just like right here. Intentionally avoiding my under eye because we are going to go in with concealer. And I'm actually going to more so stipple it here. See if we can get a little more coverage that way. Okay, I feel like I am. All right, so I'm gonna call it a medium coverage because as we all know, when we use our brush, that's usually when we get the most amount of coverage. I feel we have a light medium coverage. I'm not gonna say a true medium full. That's kind of where I'm gonna gauge it at the moment. Okay, cool. Let's do some more. I'm gonna go in with about the same amount. And we'll go in with another method of application on the side. So now for this side, we'll blend it with the sponge. Blending very nicely. Sponge is usually my favorite if I have time, because using the hands, you'll never, ever not have a nice blend with your hands because, you know, your hands are warm, yada, yada, yada. But I personally like using the sponge. I always find it's just melded into the skin, and I will say this melted into the skin nice. Look at that. That's nice. With the sponge, that melted into the skin. So over here was brush and built up and sponge. Looking good. I like the sponge. I like the brush too. Personal preference, yeah? We're looking juicy and dewy, which is nice. I'm going to take whatever I have left on my little palette here, just scraping it all up. I'm going to wipe off the spatula on my sponge so I don't not have all the product. And here we are on the sponge side, built up. Now our favorite, not all of us like to do this, but a lot of us like to do. We like to use our hands. So my hands are clean. I'm gonna go in with a little bit on my forehead. Here's what I've got to go on my forehead. Let's see how this goes. Now I don't think the color has oxidized, but I do think that once you blend it in, it just melts into the skin to a point where it just works. Yeah. there is the forehead application, and that was with my Forever tools that never leave my fingers, my hands. Definitely feels nice and comfortable on the skin. It doesn't feel overly hydrated in a sense where, you know, some products you can feel the hydration, it feels like rich. This is not that. The texture and consistency is nice, and it does definitely melt into the skin. So here we are. We have sponge, brush, and hands. You couldn't tell what was what, but you know because I told you and you got to see. But I think everything worked nicely and melted and blended in good. Let's now see how other products play with this. I should have done this before, but I'm going to go in with my Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Eye Base. I should have put this on before we started, but I forgot. I'm only human after all. But in the mom world, you're a robot. Let me stop making trouble. Okay, I'm gonna do concealer. I'm gonna go in with my Chanel Sublimage concealer. This stuff is amazing, literally the best. I like sharing all of the products that I apply after we try out a new foundation because we need to know, how does everything play together? Again, we are wanting to just see how this is going to incorporate into our existing routine. Just gonna set my under eye really quick, and then we will continue. I'm using my HUDA just to set my under eye, and then for the rest of the face, we're gonna go in with Hourglass. Just letting everything sit for a moment. I'm kind of just cleaning up a bit, and then let's check and see how everything looks, and then we will continue. It's been a few minutes. Let's check in. Let's see how everything's looking. Let's see if there's any weirdness going on, anything. Definitely. It's feeling nice on my skin. It's definitely nice and glowy, but that's what we signed up for. I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass powder and just do a nice light dusting. Light layers are key. We know this. This is a very light powder to begin with. So I feel like this is perfect for this product because it's gonna allow the glow to still come through, but you're still going to be, you know, setting everything in place lightly. So we set over here, we didn't set over there. It's not a huge difference. That's good. This really is a beautiful powder too. Like I said, it's very lightweight, but it does the job of, you know, setting your products in place. And you can totally use this on a no makeup day. You just dust it over and it looks really great too. All right, so we're all set. Feels great. I don't feel like I have on a ton of layers. Nice and comfortable. This gives the vibes of like a nice go-to everyday easy kind of product, but we'll see. Okay. I'm gonna go in with my Ambient lighting palette, the Lotus, and I'm gonna do some bronzer, blush, highlight, and we'll be done. And let's get this wear test started. Yeah. I like mixing these two because this has like a pretty glow and this is a true bronzer, but this is a little dark for me, so they work. Clearly I love mixing with this palette. I love that cocktail, you know, I love mixing products anyways, just to create what's perfect for you, that mood, that look, that day, you know? I will say all the products are playing nicely together. Everything's going over top fine. No issues there. Yes, I'm going to mix the two highlights. I don't feel we need a lot of highlight today, just because the skin's already nice and juicy, but you know, a little bit is fine. It's good. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Do I want to do lipstick or do I want this? These have such a beautiful formula. What are these called? I forgot. These from Hourglass. I think I'm gonna go with this. I like these a lot. This is in the shade Trace. See how juicy that is on the lips? So good. And it's so comfortable too. Oh, here's our finished look. Everything went over top nicely, melted and melded in the skin nicely. Next time you see me, I'll have some eye makeup, but for now, here is the finished look. It's feeling good. Everything melted and blended and melded in together nicely. All the products played well. That's a plus. I will say, kind of touching it, it still feels a little tacky. It did claim to be transfer proof. I don't know. We'll see. Because right now I just touched it and I had some on my hand, but whatever. I don't know. That's that. Stay tuned, because as we do the wear test and as I do the check-ins, I'm going to be, you know, keeping everything in mind. And I will, towards the end, I will compare my other Hourglass products. And we will see, because hey, if you already have those, do I really need this, Monique? I'll let you know. But as always, we've got timestamps down below if you want to skip ahead or, you know, all that. All right, wear test begins. I'll see you in a few hours and we'll do a check-in. Hi. It's a little cold, so I got my jacket on, but it's 3:20. Here we are. We're still feeling amazing. Skin feels really comfortable. Definitely feels like something you could easily wear all day. No issues. I will say it's definitely nice and dewy, and it's maintaining that nice dewy finish. So that's a good thing, you know. So it's holding up to that dewy finish, that skin, melt into the skin, look good, feel good kind of vibes we like. Thinking about what I did with brush, what I did with sponge and hands, ultimately all of it still feels pretty much the same and ended up looking the same. And yeah, so that's that. All right. I think that's it for now. So that's the check-in. All is well at the moment. Yeah. Hi. Here we are. It's the end of the day. Let me refresh this lip because, you know, dinner. Hello, hello. Hey Siri. What time is it? Hey Siri. What time is it?
It's 6:01 p.m.
6:01 p.m. 10 hours. I think that's quite sufficient. I think that's pretty good. So here we are. Here's how we're looking. Things are still feeling pretty good. I will say, I remember I told you how I felt a little tacky when I touched it. I don't know, that didn't really go away. So that's probably just something to do with the formula. Because as you can see, we're still nice and juicy and dewy. It held that all day. Very comfortable product. It doesn't feel heavy and meh. Feels pretty good. I will say that. It's definitely something you could totally wear every single day. If you like a glowing, hydrated base, this is right up that alley. And I love Hourglass's base products because they give you your skin enhanced. They're comfortable, they're beautiful, they're reliable, they're wearable. So 10 hours, let me get close. But I will say, after 10 hours, I do feel like it's starting to look like 10 hours. Didn't touch it. I would have, in my normal go-to life, I would have touched up. But for the sake of the video, I didn't. But we will, so we'll see if we can refresh it and how that's going to look. But let's get nice and close. That's why I do this, because I want to be as real with you and just share it all of it. So this is the side we applied with the sponge. Brush. Fingers. Around the mouth, I feel is a little, but again, I would have touched up at some point and I wouldn't let it look like this. But just for the sake of trying it out for the first time with you, I don't want to touch anything. This is how I can gauge going forward what I'm going to do differently or where and when I'll need to touch up certain areas. I would have definitely touched the nose and kind of smoothed out around my mouth. That's normal for me. That's typical for me. But here I am to just show it to you so you can see it. And it's not that bad either. It really isn't. Let me grab my powder so we can do a little quick refresh and see how that would do. I'm going to go in with the Hourglass Vanish Airbrushed. What is this called? Vanish Airbrush Pressed Powder. So here we go. We've touched up, we revived things, cut down the glow just a little, not too much, because this powder, it's very fine, it's very light, and again, I'm all about the light layers. It's nice to know that we can revive and refresh ourselves. So if I want to continue wearing this for another 5, 6, 7 hours, let's go. So with that said, let me share my thoughts and quick comparisons on the other foundations that I have from Hourglass. Let's start off with this one that I'm going to call Packaging Twin. Just obviously the colors are different. The biggest difference between these two is the coverage and the finish. Yes, you get a bit of a glow with the skin tint, but you get more glow with the Luminous Glow foundation. And for shade reference, I'm shade 19 in the foundation and shade 11 in the skin tint. And I've used this thing all the way up. I love this. This is really, really easy. I really like this for the everyday. It's very your skin but better. Put it on with your hands, go out the door. It's very quick, very convenient. I really, really like the skin tint. Now the foundation. This is the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. So between these two, this one's definitely a lot more coverage, and the finish is more of like a smooth airbrush finish. So this one, you get a glow with this one, but not as much as this one. This is more of that natural, your skin, natural glow, smoothed and blurred with good coverage, higher coverage than this. This is more medium to full and a soft blurred, soft glow kind of finish versus this that's more of a light medium with a glowy finish. So that's the biggest difference between these two. So in conclusion, I will say that the Luminous Glow Foundation is a beautiful foundation that's going to give you a beautiful glow. It's going to wear all day. It's going to hold and maintain that glow. And it's going to give you a true light medium, which is lightly buildable in coverage. I don't feel I can take this any more than medium. I mean, I feel like I'm really drawing the line at medium. I don't see myself being able to take this more than that, but that's okay. I feel with the glow that it delivers, the coverage is good. I love that I can get some extra SPF because yes, I already use SPF in my skincare routine and my everyday, but added, why not? So I love that I'm getting sun protection in with this. I love the way this feels. It's hydrating. It's very comfortable on the skin. If you're oily and you don't like glowy, stay far because this is definitely going to give you that hydrated, glowy, radiant finish, which if that's what you're into, then this is that product for you. As I continue to use it, I'm going to probably tweak some things. I probably won't put as much around my mouth area just because the way that this wore around the mouth area wasn't my favorite. So I'd probably definitely share this out. And that's just my experience thus far. But on my forehead, the hydration, I will take it anytime, any day. So overall, I think it did well. And I'm happy that I gave it a try. But let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Let's talk about it. I'm going to take my dewy self on out of here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Please take a moment and give today's video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Stay beautiful, guys. I will see you soon. Bye.